Welcome back to this special segment of Money Talks Media on thatchannel.com. I'm Randy Tom, sitting as guest host and guinea pig because I'm going to go back to university here with the boys. The boys are going to take me through, I'm going to peel back my skin in this segment, and we're going to talk a little bit more about retirement university. And I'm sitting here with Mr. Mike Evans, the Senior Vice President of Marketing for Mackenzie Financial, and Mr. John Klotz, the President of Northwood Mortgage Life. So here I am, guys. Peel back the skin. Let's go to Take Me to School.
I got to say, Randy, you're looking more like a professor than a student. So
well,
it's all good.
It's great makeup. Is what
it's got. Okay. So, well, you know, we were talking basically about the whole retirement issue and some of the problems that Canadians are facing. And really what you said is, you know, what are the solutions, guys? And advisors like myself are very interested in looking for that. So, you know, we team up with basically people like Mackenzie who've got the resources and the tools and the support through people like Mike Evans to bring material and a process, because that's really what this is all about. It's a process to find out who you are, where you're going, and how basically we can help you. So one of the issues is in talking about the retirement issues, just like what does it look like? When do you expect to kind of retire?
Okay, well, my goal personally would be to grow my company, get it to a point where I could at least have the option to sell, and that could be in 5 years, could be 10 years. Who knows? Who knows when it would be? But and then after that, it would be to have a little bit of freedom to be able to maybe do some traveling and like tinker and other investment opportunities. But right now, I am live and breathe my company,
right?
Which I think a lot of Canadians out there are doing as well.
Tons.
And so I truthfully haven't done what I've needed to do. So, and I think I can't imagine me being alone at that, because you put your life, you put everything into your company, which means I'm not investing in retirement like I probably should have. So, hey guys, give me a hand here, help me.
This is your retirement plan.
Right.
In a way. But there's other things you can do. You can diversify it a little bit. But just you said a couple of things that were really interesting. And one was basically that in 5 or 10 years' time, you effectively seeing kind of maybe taking this to a certain level and selling it, and then maybe almost like you said, packing it in. But I know you well enough to know that will be kind of, I don't know if that'll be it might be a great financial solution.
Yeah.
But really, like, how are you going to spend your day when you're retired? What does it look like? What is like? Well, are you out of business completely? Are you acting as an angel investor? Like, what does it look like for you? Well, ideally, you can dream a little on this show.
Okay, I'd like to golf maybe 3 or 4 times a week with Mike.
Okay,
but
he's amazing, by the way.
You
have no idea what you're saying.
Hey, well, you know.
Under 80?
What can I say?
On occasion.
Oh, my God, okay.
Yeah, well, that's it. See, obviously he's retired. His plan has been better than mine. He's been able to get himself to that point. No, but yeah, I'd love to golf. I'd love to do some traveling and start a family and build for them as well.
So retirement means actually at that point you build your business and then you start a family.
Well,
is that accurate?
Well,
it's an interesting statement.
Yeah, no, it is.
I know you're squirming a little bit there.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
Should we get your
start a family? Yeah, no, call her right now. No, she's still in university as well. So,
okay.
It's something where I'd love to start a family as soon as possible.
I mean, it's interesting listening to your story because yours isn't necessarily typical. Each retirement plan is unique to its circumstances, and you're an entrepreneur, and there are many entrepreneurs. And you're right. They put their blood, sweat, and tears into the company.
Yep.
And it's the success of that organization, the income it generates while you run it, and the eventual sale of the organization and the transition later on down the road, either bringing in partners or selling it completely, that really funds your eventual retirement. Yeah. So, I mean, we need to make sure this works for you and that it's scalable and can generate the sort of lifestyle that you want to enjoy at the end. For the average Canadian, many of them they're employed. They receive a salary. They know exactly how much they're going to get, and for them it's a little bit easier. We can determine the RSP contribution limits, 18% of last year's earned income. We can encourage them to save and build and grow both RSPs and investment accounts.
But if I understand correctly, they're not saving enough.
True. Yeah, it's
to put it bluntly. the average Canadian that thinks that they're covered isn't.
True. Absolutely. Even if you're a government worker with a defined benefit pension plan, which is sort of the premium product on the market, there's nothing to say that that plan may be underfunded, and reductions in income. And,
is there
what
ever
you
a fear of
receive
these plans, of them just saying, sorry guys, we don't have the money, we're cutting them back?
That's happened in places around the world. It's never happened here yet. But, they're in Great Britain and in France, they recently gone through the process of increasing the retirement age. So people are getting benefits later. Oftentimes, they'll be asked to contribute more during their working years. So that acts as a tax. You have less money to spend because you're being asked to fund more money into the plan. And then the amount that you do receive can be cut back.
Right.
So all of those things in combination can occur. And it seems pensions of all levels, whether they're privately funded by your company, publicly funded by our government, or personal ones, are underfunded. They need to receive more capital.
Okay, so I'm evolving to a point with the company now that soon I will be able to start drawing a salary.
No, I understand. That's right.
Soon I'll be able to make some money. Yes.
No, but draw a salary.
Yeah.
Officially draw a salary,
right.
Which is going to be again, small companies, they grow, and and we're at that point where
Absolutely.
we're growing into that phase. So
you've had sweat equity till now.
Let's talk about what I need to be thinking about. John, you were going to ask me some questions.
So that's a great question. So at a certain point, you're going to be able to start reaping some of the rewards of all the effort that you've poured into this place over the past few years. That's a point where you and an advisor should sit down. I'd love it to be me. Should sit down and talk about, what small amount can you put aside every month that'll have an impact. It's amazing, and Mike will attest to this. It's amazing what it does to your brain to start putting $50 a month aside for someone who's done nothing. It's amazing. It does, because it means basically you're not just living for this immediate success. There's something you're planting for later. Now, I've taken a lot of clients, and Mackenzie has grown with me as well. I've taken a lot of clients from that small amount of $50 a month. It's just to get going, just to have the mindset that it's not all about today. There is a tomorrow, and grown that into a much larger amount. Like I said, that would be an excellent sort of starting point, just to start anything, because right now you're in the stage where basically you're in a holding pattern, right?
Right.
Getting going, building this wonderful company, and at a certain point, though, you'll want to have that discussion with me.
Okay, so John, let's start it right now, because I will. I'll tell you right now.
Go ahead.
I will have this discussion with you.
Beautiful.
Okay, so you're the guy. Let's do this.
Okay, so what we should probably do, and let's ask some other hard questions. So you're going to build this. You're going to have this nice retirement plan. What's it going to cost to fund that retirement plan down the road? What do you think?
Yeah,
how much are you going to need we're going to want to take a look at what you're living on right now.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You're living on a nice, tight little budget.
Absolutely. Right now, I'm living on about $50,000 a year.
Okay, so that's a great number. Okay, perfect.
That's not coming from this though, but I mean that's.
Oh, but that's great. So
that's the commercials you're seeing me on.
I know that, and by the way, they're great commercials. And I also saw you in the airplane. You did not crash that plane, by the way. It's the same idea with the show.
No, you're talking about Mayday, but this is. I do feel like I'm in a hotter seat though than I was in that plane. See, I knew I was going to live through that segment. I don't know if I'm going to live through this. So.
Well, that's the problem with being those. But no, and by the way, if it's any consolation to you, you are in great company. Mike and I deal with business owners all the time, where the equity is the business, and you have to sacrifice to be successful.
Right.
So don't. In fact, and I'm very proud of what you've done here. I've watched you grow, but there is going to be a time when you and I are going to want to say, okay, $50,000 a year, starting at the age of 65, 60, 55, has to go for so long. There's a number there. We can figure that out.
Right.
And what we may be able to do with someone like Randy is watch him work, build, and grow, and achieve greater success. Mm-hmm. And at some point down the road, consider strategies like an IPP,
right,
an individual pension plan, where we could set up what's in essence a defined benefit pension plan for you, funded by your company, much more aggressively than a typical RSP. Right. So even though you've foregone the contributions into registered plans in the early years, we may be able to make that up later on with a different type of pension structure for you.
So these are discussions that you can have with anybody that goes onto your website.
Yep.
And wants to get involved with Retirement University.
Yeah, we at Mackenzie Financial, dedicated to working with financial professionals like John in helping Canadians achieve financial independence. And Retirement U is a component to allow them to enter into that discussion. On there are worksheets and calculators and questions and thought-provoking processes that will allow them to start to ask and answer some of the fundamental questions about where am I today, where do I want to be in the future, and how do I bridge that gap? How do I get there?
Well, and truthfully, that's not something, like, as much as some people would want to do that on their own, like my girlfriend's the type, she would sit down at home, she would go through this on her own. Right. Personally, for me, I'd rather go to a conference or go to a seminar to truly understand what it is that I'm going to do. Is this going to be an option that will be provided down the road? Is there something that... Is there going to be a seminar or something that I can attend? But like going back to school, am I going back to university or what?
One of the key components of the Retirement U process is the opportunity for John and I to engage in seminar educational processes where we can go through Retirement U 101, 201, 301 with audiences, live audiences, and bring out the workbooks and go through the process of asking the questions and engaging people in the process of creating the solution. So sure. I think that's...
the answer is yes, then.
John's an educator.
Absolutely.
That's what he's dedicated to.
Absolutely. So we are hosting seminars.
Okay.
You can go to our website at Northwood Mortgage Life and request our newsletter, and we will inform you as to when the next seminar is.
Right.
And the idea is, as Mike says, just to put it all in writing. Our next one, actually, we've got one planned for the summer.
Do you?
Yeah, basically mid-July, and an opportunity for people to come out, hear from Mike and myself, and participate in this process.
John, the piece that was in The Economist that I supplied you and Randy with, I think is a great one. If you wanted to encourage those that might be seeing this online to contact you for maybe a copy of this and some of your literature regarding Retirement U, how would they do that? How would they reach you?
So the best way to reach me is to go to our website, northwoodmortgagelife.com, which is conveniently in the backdrop here, and request our newsletter. You can also contact us. You can download our newsletters, and we will be posting our seminar dates that people can attend. And again, our next one, I believe it's July 17th. I'll have to check our schedule, but that's when we'll be hosting it.
Yeah. No, I think that's. I'm going to do that, John.
Okay.
I'm going to do that, and I think that a lot of other Canadians should consider as well. Because there's always been, you know what it is too? It's ego. Bruised egos of the entrepreneur. You don't want to admit that we haven't been as diligent or responsible in some ways, because oftentimes entrepreneurs are dreamers and whatnot. And I'm coming to that. I've come to that realization that I need to deal with this. I need to deal with this now. So I'm going to tell people out there, get over it, and I'm going to come to the seminar.
Well, for a lot of people, retirement's a distant event, right? So it's easy to say, you know what, I'll worry about it tomorrow. And never get anywhere. It's uncomfortable for people to deal with things they don't understand or don't feel in control of. So we're encouraging them to start to ask those questions today and get some of the answers. Because
I mean that. I'm going to go. I'm going to let you serve me some bad coffee.
You got it.
Hopefully a cookie or two. And but I'm going to want you to take me through this, because a friend said to me the other day, he goes, Randy, you're not messing with your future. You're messing with your kids' futures.
Good point.
And it really struck home. It made me think that, holy moly. But I mean, really, you're not messing. He said, he goes, Randy, he put it in a much more direct language that I'm not going to repeat on the air, but he goes, Randy, you're not messing with your future. You're messing with your kids' futures.
Good point. I think it takes a lot of guts to sort of talk about what, we're asking you some pretty personal questions. But good for you for sort of saying, hey, look, this is something I need to address. And I would love to work with you and take you through the process. And you are exactly the kind of guy I can help. And with the help of some of the resources at Mackenzie, I mean it. You're perfect. And I got a lot of respect for you. And it's not easy being an entrepreneur. I'm one myself, right? I run a company, and a lot of ups and downs that go along with that. So I can even show you how to credit or protect your RSPs.
And I have no idea what any of that means.
Well, that means
whatever it means.
That means if you get in trouble, no one can touch them.
Right, gotcha.
And,
there we go.
We got to talk about that as a business owner.
So listen, let's wrap up this segment.
Okay.
And what are we gonna talk about the next segment? I want to bait people out there to stick around because there's gonna be another segment we got coming up here.
Yeah, well, basically, we want to talk about some things that are going on in the market,
right?
And some of the issues that are happening immediately. There's been a whole commodity sell-off, things of that nature, where the opportunities are. And Mike and I would like to just give everyone a little bit of a synopsis.
Yeah, and hopefully you let me stick around and be the redneck or the blue-collar dude that gets to listen in on it, guys. Listen, this is fantastic, and I want to thank you. It's funny how things work out because when I got up this morning, I knew I was going to be hosting this show with you, but I didn't know that I'm actually going to be taking care of some things in my future as well. So I want to thank you both for that.
Excellent.
Feels good to take action. Right?
Yeah, you know what? It really does. It really does. It really does. I'm sitting down with Michael Evans, the Senior Vice President of Marketing with McKinsey Financial, and John Klotz, the President of Northwood Mortgage Life. And I'm feeling like I'm still sitting in the hot seat. So we're going to take a break so I can have a drink of water, and we'll be right back on thatchannels.com special segment of Money Talks Media.